Monthly checks for the low income and middle income. I have all the details and what you need to know right here in this video. Let's get into it right away. But really fast before we do, thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, make sure to subscribe by hitting that button right down below the video, as I am your one and only daily advocate, and I am very much dedicated to you and this community to do all the research and to break it all down into these short videos so that you can get the latest details hot off the wire as this information is being released. It's a busy time out there, and I'm here for you right by your side to make sure that you're getting all of these details, as well as any money, benefits, programs, and anything else we can possibly get our hands on right now. So again, thanks so much for joining me. Please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet, and let's get right into the video. All right, so in this video, we are specifically talking about monthly checks, otherwise known as monthly stimulus checks, guaranteed basic income, or universal basic income, all of which are essentially the exact same thing with just a little bit of a different name. But when you break it all down, these are all just essentially the exact same thing. Monthly checks focused on the low income and middle income in some instances. That's why I added it into this video, because in some of these programs, it actually has pretty high income thresholds to make people who are eligible for these programs. So I do want to talk about all of that in this video. Now, in fact, as of right now, so if we roll back to late 2019, when essentially the first of these guaranteed basic income programs, otherwise known as monthly checks, started to roll out, from late 2019 until today, almost 100 of these different programs have been popping up all around the country in different states, counties, cities, localities, all over the country. In fact, in some of the states, California, for example, has a statewide guaranteed basic income program. Well, there's actually a few lawmakers right now in Congress who are actually working on getting a monthly stimulus check program, or a monthly guaranteed basic income program is basically what I should be calling it, a monthly guaranteed basic income program on a nationwide level. Now, we've talked about that in previous videos, so I'm not going to go into a ton of detail on that in this video, but there are actually lawmakers out there right here, right now, who are working on getting a nationwide guaranteed basic income program up to people earning $75,000 a year. That's why I added middle income into this video. Generally, a lot of my videos are focused around low income and fixed income, but the deal is, I would say, in my opinion, somebody earning $75,000 a year is probably more like middle income or even a high income, not necessarily low income, right? Again, not really sure where the lawmakers are coming up with these numbers, but this is what they are actually saying right now, and just wanted to throw that in there. Anyway, that is with that program, but again, we can always focus on that in a separate video. But here's the thing. I specifically want to talk about guaranteed basic income programs, as well as monthly checks, or whatever name we decide to use. It doesn't really matter. It's all essentially talking about the exact same thing. Guaranteed basic income, it's all the same. But anyway, I want to talk about this in a little bit more detail, because I know that there are a lot of you right here in this community who are low income, fixed income, seniors, elderly, people with disabilities, Social Security beneficiaries, SSI, VA, all of those benefits. So I do want to break this down a little bit more clearly here, because these programs are something we've got to keep a very, very close eye on. You might be wondering why. Why do we care so much? Here's the thing. This is pretty much the wave of the future. As we look forward, who knows how long it possibly could be, but I mark my word on this. At some point in the future, I have no idea when. Maybe it's a year from now, maybe it's 5 years from now, I'm not really sure when, but there will be a nationwide guaranteed basic income program specifically focused on lower income individuals. Here's the thing. We've had many different experts and very high profile people, including Elon Musk, who happens to be the richest person in the world right here in the United States, saying it's only a matter of time until there will be a guaranteed basic income program, simply because of all the automation that's going on around the country already, right? Automation means basically robots are doing all the work, therefore humans aren't needed for a lot of jobs anymore. Well, how do you sustain an economy when all the jobs are being replaced by robots, right? I mean, check this out. This is something that's still relatively new, but some of these big places out there right now are actually exploring these ideas of basically having cash or checkouts like at stores without cashiers, right? I mean, they're already implementing this in some stores all over the country where they have self-checkout. Well, that's one method, but check this out. They have other methods out there right now where they're implementing technology where basically you just kind of like walk through like almost like a metal detector type thing, and it just detects everything within your cart, and boom, there you are, right? That's all automated. That's basically a robot doing that. You don't need a human to stand there and do that. Maybe you need like one human to basically watch over, say, maybe like 10 different checkpoint stations, right? So again, that's just one example. Let me throw this out there too. A couple months ago, I came across a report, and this was kind of cool. White Castle, we all know White Castle, right? Apparently, they are rolling out in about 100 of their different restaurants right now robots that'll actually flip and serve burgers. Could you imagine? You pull up to White Castle, you order whatever you order at White Castle. Honestly, I don't even know. And all of a sudden, a robot arm sticks out and gives you your burger. I mean, seriously, this stuff is happening. Therefore, people are, kind of being phased out of a lot of jobs. It's kind of the situation that's going on right now. Automation. Why? Well, for a lot of reasons. Businesses, they don't need to pay people. They don't need to pay healthcare. They don't need to pay all that stuff. They can just basically have a robot there that just does all this stuff for them, right? But anyway, before I get too far off on a little rant here, I just wanted to give you those couple quick examples. Of course, I can come back and give you multiple more examples of situations like that I've seen coming up in headlines and in reports, things like that, in a separate video if you'd like me to. But just a couple examples that I wanted to throw out there for you. But basically, it comes down to this. Guaranteed basic income programs are essentially the wave of the future. That's basically what it's going to come down to at some point in this country. Pretty much around the world, too. It's already being explored in multiple different countries around the world where guaranteed basic income programs, essentially the citizens of a certain area, maybe it's a city or a village or, one county or whatever, in different areas around the world, as in different countries, things like this. Basically, they just get a certain allotment every single month, a certain stipend that is allowed to go right into their bank account, and then they have, they have that money, and they can do whatever they want with it. It's exactly what guaranteed basic income is, or a universal basic income program. So I do want to talk about that because we've got to watch these programs very, very closely. However, I want to let you know this much. These are like the best of all the worlds when it comes to programs, right? So let me tell you this much. Some of you who receive fixed income benefits like Social Security, whether it's retirement or SSDI or survivor's benefits, VA, benefits like this, you probably know this already. In some of your states and in some situations, your benefits are taxable, right? Yeah, I think you probably know this, right? It is not a fun thing. For the vast majority of you, your benefits are probably not taxable. Your income may be low enough where it's not really a situation, right? You don't really need to worry about it. But in some instances, some states, if your income is high enough, if your benefit is high enough, if you have more income in addition to your monthly benefit, your benefits are taxable. You will need to pay taxes on some of that benefit, and that tax can be somewhat stiff. It's a pretty steep tax in some instances. Not fun, right? Especially if you're living on a fixed income, the last thing you want to do at the end of the year is write a check to Uncle Sam, right? Not a good thing for many people living on a fixed income. It's just not feasible for a lot of people. However, here's why guaranteed basic income and monthly check programs are literally the best of all the worlds. Here's why. NSA, no strings attached, number one. Number two is it's not taxable. Number three, it's not counted as income. And number four, these are not counted as resources. Therefore, they do not offset other benefits that you may be receiving. This is literally the best of all the worlds. Let me give you a couple quick examples. Something that all of us can relate to very, very clearly. Remember, over the last 2 years, we received 3 stimulus checks, $1,200, $600, and $1,400. Now remember one more thing as well. Last year, in 2021, about 36 to 38 million households started receiving those child tax credit payments, the advanced child tax credit payments. All of these are no strings attached payments, essentially, right? The stimulus checks are for sure no strings attached payments. The child tax credit payments are a little bit more different than that, but essentially it comes down to the same thing, especially for somebody living on a small fixed income, like I've been mentioning, Social Security or SSDI or SSI even, VA, things like this. Let me give you a couple of quick examples. Let's just say that you're somebody living on SSI or SSDI or retirement. It honestly doesn't matter. It's all essentially the same thing when you look at income thresholds, things like that. If your income is too high and you're receiving something like housing vouchers or maybe utility assistance or SNAP benefits, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, otherwise known as food stamps. If you're receiving any of these programs, you know the drill. If your income becomes a little bit too high, guess what happens? They take away your benefit, right? I think we've all been there. We've all done that. We know how that goes. Let me give you a quick example. The COLA raise to your monthly benefits every single year. Does it increase or decrease your SNAP benefits? I think we know the answer. It decreases your SNAP benefits because your income goes up, therefore your SNAP benefits go down, right? Well, let me tell you the situation between the stimulus checks and what's really cool about monthly checks and guaranteed basic income programs. When you got the stimulus checks, did it garnish your SNAP benefit? I'd be willing to bet the answer is no. The reason I know that is because the stimulus checks had no impact to anything. No impact to your fixed income benefit. No impact to other benefits like SNAP benefits, utility assistance, housing vouchers, any other kind of benefits that you were getting at the time. It had zero impact whatsoever. Nothing. It should not have impacted your benefits in any way, shape, or form, either positively or negatively. It was literally just a little infusion of cash from the IRS, and that's it. Nothing else. No change to your benefits, no change to anything else. It's the same thing with guaranteed basic income programs. No strings attached. They do not penalize you for getting a guaranteed basic income program. They don't take away other benefits. It does not positively or negatively affect you as in your other benefits. It just is. It's just there. It's just more cash in your possession every single month. That's what's so powerful about this, right? You kind of get my grind on this. You kind of see what I'm saying about this. These programs can be incredibly powerful. That's actually exactly what these studies are showing. Or across the country right now, like I said, about 100 of these programs have popped up in the last, call it 2.5 years. It's actually not even quite 2.5 years, but just for easy math purposes, let's just say 2.5 years. We've had all these programs popping up, and we see report after report after report coming out showing that these programs are actually incredibly successful. They send the money out to the people use it for the necessities, or they maybe stash a little bit away. Maybe they get a $500 stipend every single month, and maybe the person uses 400 of it, and they stash away $100. It gives them the opportunity to start saving a little bit of money in the event of a little situation that may arise. We all know how that goes. We all see that happen every so often, right? The unexpected event arrives and it's like, oh man, not fun. I don't have any money right now, right? Well, we all know how that goes. Some people call it a rainy day fund, but we all know those rainy days unfortunately do arise every so often. Well, these programs are incredibly successful. But anyway, I wanted to come back for you, lay it all out for you, let you know what these programs actually mean, whether you call it a monthly stimulus check, monthly checks, guaranteed basic income, universal basic income, it simply doesn't matter the name that we call it. They're essentially the exact same thing, with the exception of universal basic income. That one's a little teeny tiny bit different, but the concept is the same. An ongoing monthly check that is no strings attached, right? But anyway, I hope this one helps you out a little bit more to better understand why these programs are so incredibly powerful. It's basically the wave of the future, and it's probably something that will be coming sooner than later. Now, I just want to be very clear. It's not coming tomorrow, I can tell you that much. But at some point in the future, whether the future is a year, 2 years, 5 years, we don't really know, but at some point, there will be these programs, especially for the low income. For everybody? No, probably not everybody. But for the low income, yeah, for sure, there will be. Yeah, these programs are incredibly successful, and we're watching these things very closely, and they see that across the entire country right now as all these programs continue to pop up. Anyway, as I do get more details on any of this, of course, I'll be back here for you breaking it all down, but I wanted to offer this video and just give you a little bit more clarification on why these programs are so incredibly important, and they're really cool, right? So anyway, hope this one helps you out. Again, please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share this video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out any of the other nearly 2,400 videos right here on the channel. Thanks again for watching. I appreciate it. Enjoy your day, and I'll catch you again later.